10 must-know Japan travel tips. What if we told you that one simple mistake could ruin your entire Japan trip, but knowing these secrets could make it absolutely magical? Japan can either be the trip of your dreams or a complete disaster, and the difference comes down to knowing what locals never tell tourists. Today, we're sharing the insider secrets that'll change everything. Master the art of bowing. Let's start with something you'll use from the moment you step off the plane. Bowing in Japan isn't just a nice gesture, it's basically how people communicate respect and gratitude without saying a word. Now, before you start worrying about getting it perfect, here's the good news. Even a small nod shows that you understand and appreciate Japanese culture. The basic rule is simple. A slight bow of your head works for most everyday situations, like thanking someone or saying hello. If someone bows to you, just bow back at about the same angle. Don't stress about the exact degrees or timing. Japanese people absolutely appreciate when visitors make this effort, and they're incredibly understanding if you're still learning. We've seen travelers worry so much about bowing perfectly that they forget to actually enjoy their interactions. The key is to be genuine and respectful, and that always comes across beautifully. Cash is still king. Here's something that surprises a lot of first-time visitors. Japan is still very much a cash-based society, even in 2025. While credit cards are becoming more common in big cities, you'll definitely want to have cash on hand for restaurants, small shops, temples, and even some hotels. The great news is that Japanese ATMs are everywhere and they're incredibly reliable. Look for 7-Eleven stores, which are literally on every corner and have ATMs that accept international cards. Post offices also have great ATMs that work with foreign cards. We always recommend getting cash as soon as you land at the airport and then keeping yourself stocked up throughout your trip. Don't worry about carrying cash around either. Japan is one of the safest countries in the world, and losing your wallet often means someone will actually try to return it to you. Train etiquette makes all the difference. Japanese trains are absolutely amazing. They're clean, punctual, and efficient in ways that'll blow your mind. But there are some unwritten rules that'll help you fit in and show respect for fellow passengers. Understanding these customs makes your journey so much more pleasant for everyone. Keep your voice down when you're on the train. Japanese people value quiet, peaceful commutes, so save those phone calls and loud conversations for when you get off. Also, if you're sitting in priority seats, be ready to give them up for elderly passengers, pregnant women, or people with disabilities. Most importantly, let people get off the train before you try to get on. It sounds obvious, but in the rush of travel, it's easy to forget. When you follow these simple guidelines, you'll notice how smoothly everything flows, and locals really appreciate visitors who understand their culture. Learn basic Japanese phrases. Don't worry, we're not suggesting you become fluent before your trip, but knowing a few key phrases will absolutely transform your experience in Japan. Japanese people are incredibly patient and helpful, and when they see you making an effort to speak their language, even just a little bit, their faces just light up. Start with the basics, like arigato gozaimasu for thank you, sumimasen for excuse me or sorry, and ego ga wakarimasu ka, which means, do you speak English? Oshi means delicious and will make any restaurant owner smile when you use it. The phrase doko desu ka means where is, and you can point to something on your phone while saying it. Even if your pronunciation isn't perfect, people will understand what you're trying to say, and they'll often go out of their way to help you once they see you're making an effort. Navigate food culture like a pro. Japanese food culture is incredible, but it can feel a bit different from what you might be used to. First thing to know, slurping your noodles is not just okay, it's actually encouraged. It shows you're enjoying your meal and helps cool down hot noodles as you eat them. When you're eating with chopsticks, never stick them straight up in your rice bowl, as this resembles incense at funerals. Also, don't pass food from chopstick to chopstick for similar cultural reasons. If you're sharing dishes, use the opposite end of your chopsticks or ask for serving chopsticks. Tipping isn't expected in Japan and can actually make people uncomfortable, so just enjoy your meal and express your thanks when you leave. Many restaurants have amazing lunch sets that are much cheaper than dinner, so that's a great way to try high-quality food without spending too much. Master public transportation. Japan's train system might look complicated at first, but once you understand the basics, it becomes your best friend for getting around. The key is getting a transportation card like a Suica or Passmo, which work on almost all trains and buses throughout the country. Download Google Translate and Hyperdia apps before you go. Google Translate can actually translate signs in real time using your camera, which is absolutely magical when you're trying to figure out train schedules. Hyperdia shows you exactly which trains to take and when. During rush hours, trains can get extremely crowded, especially in Tokyo. If you're not comfortable with crowds, try to travel outside of peak times, which are usually between 7 and 9 in the morning and 5 to 7 at night. The good news is that even crowded trains are orderly and respectful, so don't let that stop you from exploring. Respect temple and shrine etiquette. Visiting temples and shrines is one of the most beautiful parts of experiencing Japan, and knowing the proper etiquette makes these visits even more meaningful. When you enter a shrine, there's usually a purification fountain near the entrance. Use the ladle to wash your left hand, then your right hand, then rinse your mouth, but don't drink the water. When you approach the main building, bow slightly, toss a coin into the offering box, bow twice, clap your hands twice, make a quiet prayer or wish, then bow once more. Don't worry if you don't get it exactly right. The important thing is showing respect and being mindful of the sacred space you're in. Take off your hat, keep your voice low, and remember that these are active places of worship, not just tourist attractions. Photography is usually okay in the grounds, but be respectful and avoid using flash inside buildings. Shopping and souvenir strategies. Shopping in Japan can be absolutely addicting, and there are some smart strategies that'll help you get the most out of your shopping experience. Department stores and many shops offer tax-free shopping for tourists, which can save you about 8% on your purchases. You'll need to show your passport and spend over a certain amount, usually around 5,000 yen. Don Quixote stores are treasure troves of unique Japanese items, from quirky snacks to beauty products you can't find anywhere else. They're open-laid and packed with interesting stuff, though they can feel a bit overwhelming. Stay connected and navigate language barriers. Staying connected in Japan is easier than you might think, and it makes navigating so much simpler. You can rent a pocket Wi-Fi device at the airport, which gives you internet access wherever you go, or get a tourist SIM card if your phone is unlocked. Download offline maps on Google Maps before you head out each day, just in case you lose connection. The Google Translate app also has an offline mode that works really well for basic translations. Many signs in major cities have English, but having translation help for menus and smaller signs is incredibly useful. Don't be afraid to use gestures, point at pictures, or draw simple sketches to communicate. Japanese people are generally very patient and creative when it comes to helping visitors, even when there's a language barrier. Plan for seasonal considerations. Japan is absolutely beautiful all year round, but each season brings its own considerations that smart travelers plan for. Spring brings the famous cherry blossoms, but also crowds and higher prices. If you're visiting during cherry blossom season, book everything well in advance and be prepared for popular spots to be packed with people. Summer in Japan can be extremely hot and humid, especially in cities like Kyoto and Tokyo. Air conditioning is everywhere though, so duck into convenience stores or shopping centers when you need to cool down. Fall is gorgeous with changing leaves, and winter can be magical, especially if you visit areas that get snow. Pack layers because temperatures can vary dramatically between regions. Always check the weather forecast before you go, and remember that Japan has a rainy season and early summer, so pack an umbrella just in case. And there you have it, 10 essential tips that'll help make your Japan adventure absolutely incredible. The beautiful thing about traveling to Japan is that even with all the planning in the world, the country will still surprise you in the most wonderful ways. These tips aren't about following rules perfectly. They're about showing respect, being prepared, and opening yourself up to experiencing a completely different culture. Remember, Japanese people are incredibly kind and forgiving of cultural mistakes, especially when they can see you're making an effort to be respectful. Don't let worry about doing everything perfectly stop you from diving in and enjoying this amazing country. Have you been to Japan before, or are you planning your first trip? We'd love to hear about your experiences or answer any questions you have in the comments below. And if this video helped you feel more confident about planning your Japan adventure, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more travel tips that actually work. Safe travels, everyone!